Hey, hope you're having an amazing day. Cutie's Creations here with another message on the restitution. So, we are going down the road of financial literacy, and there are plenty of people who do this type of work that are showing people how and educating them on how to have a better financial future and everything. But let's be honest, the scales aren't balanced. They're working against the 8 ball. They're working against things and laws that are formed against us that keep us in the same thing and that are still in our abundance. So we had talked about the beginning of our efforts to be citizens in this country and what slavery looked like for us. Then we went into that gilded age where it was industries that popped up and everything, and banks and everything that have helped us in a lot of ways, but harmed us in a lot of ways. And then we talked about the Great Depression, of how these things started to crumble because they weren't stable in the first place. And the reason why they weren't stable is because we weren't involved. Sorry. So that was what stopped us from having a more prosperous future, and there were a lot of things that were pitted against us to be able to stop that from happening, but I digress. We're going to get through this, and then I will see you guys on Wednesday for a live. I'm going to be going live Wednesday to make sure that we are doing all of this work and talking to people about what their new reality looks like in this economic downturn, and how would they benefit most from restitution. Okay, so in anyone, the way the questions are going to be is how can you benefit from restitution, and then explaining what that is. And when people have money that are consumers, they spend money. So if we aren't the biggest of the people who own mortgages and of loans and everything, and we're not the biggest of people who own real estate. So if we're buying real estate, then that means that our white counterparts are going to be able to benefit from it as well. If we are not the monopoly of healthcare and we get free healthcare, we use our healthcare more often and focus on mental health. Into that zone, there are more white and minority psychologists than there are of us. So they're going to get money that way. If we have a way of getting money to be able to buy cars, and most of us don't own these bigger car lots and everything, so they're going to benefit in that way. What I'm saying is every single person has been affected by us being in the position that we are in, but it was in an adverse way, and now it's going to be in a really positive way when we have restitution put in place. So I digress. Let's get to the lesson. All right, post World War II economic dominance, 1940s to 1970s. After World War II, the U.S. emerged as the world's leading economic power. The Bretton-Woods Agreement, 1944, established the dollar as the global reserve currency, linked to gold. American banks and corporations expanded internationally, fueling global trade. However, inflation and the end of the gold standardization in 1971 marked a shift towards a more flexible financial system. Black veterans returning from World War II were often denied GI Bill benefits such as low interest home loans, which helped white families build generational wealth. Despite civil rights advancements, discriminatory hiring and leading practices persisted. The racial wealth gap grew as Black Americans were systematically excluded from suburbanation and high growth industries. So, like I said, even when we fought for our country, these sacrifices came with a lot. We didn't just wake up that day and say, oh, we want these things to happen for us. No, we woke up with being able to contribute, even though everything with all the odds were stacked against us. We woke up with a thirst for our country to be able to treat us fair. And when we didn't get that, we didn't just sit back and wait for it to happen. We started fighting for it. And even when we fought for it, a lot of people benefited from our fight. You hear these words like minorities now. Well, where were they when we were fighting with the hoses and the dogs? And let me tell you something. I love all. I'm not looking down upon them the way other people look down upon other minorities outside of us and everything. I have nothing against them. What I'm telling you is that these things were fought for long and hard, and now it's our just due. I'm not against them. I'm just for us. I don't ever want anybody to mistake these words as, oh, I'm against my white counterparts. No, I'm just for my people. Just like they're for theirs. And all of that is irrelevant. We need restitution. $2.9 million for every man, woman, and African American child. We need judicial reform with the focus on a lot of these laws that have done so much damage in our community. We need financial reform and literacy so we can know what to do when we do get this money. We need education, free education, higher education, because a lot of us are going into debt just trying to make a way out of this poverty mindset. And then we want healthcare, free healthcare, quality healthcare with the focus on mental health, so we can start really repairing all the damage that was done to us from the moment that we set foot on this land to now. So I want to thank you for your time and your energy. Please like, share, and comment down below and let me know what you thought of this message, and you have a great day.